So I'm going to show you the PAWS Gradebook, and I'm going to start out by showing you the student view and then some of the tips and tricks that you can do in the faculty view to make this setup a little easier and perhaps more valuable to the student. So I'm going to go to Firefox. I've logged in the Firefox browser as a pretend student. This is a demonstration account. Any faculty can request one, and it's Z_J McGrory. Okay, so I happen to have a class that's going on right now, International Business, and I'm going to go into that. And at any time, the students can see where they are in the class by going under Assessment and then Grades. And you may already know this, but just kind of a quick recap. Okay, and so as I look through, what I can see is that I'm a terrible student, right? The first thing I can see is how I'm progressing in the course. Now, of course, I have to be careful. I'm only halfway through the course, so I can't have all my points yet. I can see how I'm doing. Sometimes this scares students. You can hide this from them because sometimes it scares them. They're failing and they've got A's, but they've done only 1 week worth of assignments, right? Now, I have mine do an attendance quiz. These are automatically graded. You can see I only did one of them. But just so that you can see the information that the student gets, they know that this assignment is 5 points possible. On this one I got 0 points. On this one I got 5 out of 5. And it even calculates the percentage for them. So this is really nice, the way they do this. Now, notice that this category says overall feedback. Anything that I'm going to show you in the faculty view that you post under overall feedback appears to the students. And I always post to the students grades posted, because I want to make sure that they know when they see a 0 there, for example, that either is their grade or, like, let's see as I go down here, I've got some zeros. It's simply because these grades have not been posted yet. And sometimes as soon as they finish the work, they think that the grade will be posted. And I try to tell them, if you do not see that I've typed grades posted, then you can rest easy. Now, if you see that I've posted grades posted and there's a 0 there and you know that you made 100, then obviously there's a problem, right? Okay, but you kind of see that at any given point in time, they can see their grades. And students love this. Now, what you also see is that the grades are grouped into categories. And as I scrolled down this particular category, you'll notice that this one says in red right here, this one says in red right here that this is dropped. Because the way that this category is configured is in the syllabus, I told the students your lowest Connect Chapter SmartBook grade will be dropped. And so right now what PAWS is doing is it's looking and it says here's the lowest grade, the first time I've encountered a lowest grade, and so if I was to calculate your grade today, this particular grade would be dropped. What I explain to students is that you want to ignore this until the very end of the semester, because we're not going to worry about dropped grades until the very end. Okay, so when they're thinking about this overall grade, PAWS is smart enough that it understands how to do drop grades if the category has been set up for that. So you have to have a category, and the category has to be set up for that. Very easy to do. It takes me more words to explain this than it does to do it. Okay, I just wanted to show you that though in the student view. I also provide very detailed feedback, and the students can see this. And so one thing I emphasize to the students is that when they're looking at their gradebook is to scroll down. What students very often do is they look only at this bell right here. And when they do that, see how it says here's the grade? Your grade is 93%. If that says your grade is a 2%, they will email you. They email me and say, how can I ever improve if you don't tell me how? And that's true, which is why what they need to do is go to Assessment, to Grades, and then see how they can only see this top part? Scroll down. But it's always there for them. They can look at it whenever they want to. grade or assessments, grades, scroll down, detailed feedback. See exactly where points were lost or whatever, right? And these are things I typed. That's something I typed in. Again, just giving you the overall guide there. Okay, let me go over here to Chrome, because in Chrome I am logged in as as faculty. Let me make sure that I'm showing you the faculty view. And this is one of my classes. It's project management. It's one of my master, so there's no students in it because I don't want to include student grades in this video. As faculty, I can go to assessment and I can go to grades. When I first enter the course, I'm going to see this in a spreadsheet view. And when you're manipulating the grade items themselves, this is, to me, cumbersome. So if you go to Manage Grades, okay, here are the grades for this course, and again, notice that they are in categories. So there's two things here. There's categories, and then there's items. And you can create these under New as either item or the category. Now, in this category, notice that each one of these grade items is connected to a Dropbox assignment. I have some that are not connected to anything because ultimately I'll type in these grades. These are coming from the Connect system. If I keep scrolling down, I have some grades that are connected to PAWS quizzes and even to the discussion board. So a lot of flexibility with the items. And I can create that grade item simply by New Item. Now, in regards to the category, when I look at the category, notice that all of these grades are 20 points, right? And what I want to say to the students is, we're going to have 10 in-class assignments that we do together. They're 20 points each, and I'm going to drop your lowest grade. And here's the cool thing about a category. If I click on category and I go to edit, okay, here's the name of my category, in-class required. I gave it an abbreviated name of in-class. Just in case somebody does something really, really great that day, I can exceed, perhaps. I'm not going to exclude it from the grade. And each grade is 20 points. So if I tell the category that everything I put in that category is 20 points, then anytime I add a new grade item, it will know that that's 20 points. If I later decide, and I am kind of thinking that's perhaps too many points for my in-class work, I instead want to make these in-class assignments only 10 points. So in all seriousness, this was a change I wanted to make. So I'm going to change that to 10 points. Number of highest bonus point items to drop for each user. Well, I don't drop the highest grade, but I do drop the lowest grade. So the number of lowest grades to be dropped. Remember how we saw the students drop a grade, that there was the lowest grade was dropped earlier? When I say drop the lowest grade, or drop the two lowest grades, or whatever I want to put there, I can do that, okay? Display class average to the users. That way they can see how they're doing in comparison to the class. And this will even display a graph distribution. I have done that in the past. It can sometimes create a sense of defeat if you're not doing as well as everybody else, or a sense that, I don't know, it's too easy or something. So I've kind of stopped doing that over time. Now, one last change. After further consideration, I do not want this to allow me to type in more than 10 points. The maximum they can get on these assignments is 10 points. So I've got the name, the short name. I'm not going to have it exceed the point value. It's always going to be maximum 10, and I'm not going to exclude it from the final grade calculation. They are all going to be 10 points. It's just going to be, I'm going to drop the lowest grade. So now every single one of these is 10 points instead of 20. And when the student sees it in their grading system, they will see that the lowest grade is dropped, right? That's the beauty of these categories, and it's really, really really simple. Let's say that we're going to have 11 weeks in class. So I want to add a new grade item. I can click on New Item. I'm going to use numeric there. Look at all the ways. You can have a calculated, you can have a formula. So there are many different types of grades. If you know that you're going to do a pass-fail grade on an assignment, if you know you're going to give them some kind of a letter out of it, like they're saying here, very good or B+, you can use a drop-down box. I use numeric. So I'm going to say in class 100 because we're together forever, right? Okay. In my category, I'm going to skip short name. In my category, I'm going to say that it's one of the in-class options. Now watch this. Right now, I can type in however many points I want. Maybe I want that to be 10,000 points. But as soon as I put it in, I wouldn't do that, but as soon as I put it in that category, see how it grays that out? Because it knows that everything in that category is 10 points. Now within that I can now decide, is it a bonus item, that kind of thing, but that's really all I have to do now that I'm creating that grade item, is just make sure I put it in this category. I'm going to save that. Instead of being at the bottom, I see that it is listed as one of these. Now, obviously I do not have a assignment that it's connected to, a Dropbox. If I want to delete it, I'm just going to check it. I don't know why you have to check it to begin with if it doesn't, and then I'll delete. So to me, gradebook very straightforward. Remember, it's assessment grades. When you first arrive here, it will look like a spreadsheet. You click on Manage Grades. You can create a new category or a new item. These are the items. These are the categories. Within the categories, and I'll, again, just to review, do a different one. And look at some of the neat options that you have. You can hide the whole category from a user. So if I have something I'm not using anymore that I just want to put out of their site, I hide it because I might need it later, so I don't feel like deleting it. Okay, but anyway, edit, and there you go. See, in this category, they were 20 points, and I'm dropping the lowest grade. And that's it.